as well as for my discussion with the linguist Hello and welcome back to my channel, International Yankee English. I post videos every Saturday called Study Saturday, and throughout the year I do different video series on different topics. Currently we are in the middle of Writing Wednesday, where I post on Wednesdays with different academic writing topics. So be sure to check out the playlist for that if you're interested in learning more about academic writing. Today's video I'm going to return to the R sound. A few weeks ago, the topic of my Study Saturday video was R at the beginning of words, and today we will talk about the R sound in the middle of words. Eventually, I will add a video with the R sound at the end of words, and I'm very excited to say that I will soon be filming a video with a special guest, a linguist that I respect very, very much, and he will be helping me discuss the topic of the rhotic versus non-rhotic R sound with American English R's and British English R's. He comes from the UK and he is an expert on the topic, so I'm very excited for that. So if you're not already, hit subscribe, hit the bell so you are notified when those videos go up. Let's start with today's topic. So I'm going to touch briefly on the topic of a rhotic R versus a non-rhotic R. And it's pretty simple. It is difficult if you look at it in depth and you really try to understand the ins and outs. But a very simple explanation of this topic is that the rhotic R is a stressed R sound, like most speakers in the United States. There are some exceptions of certain dialects, regional dialects, such as in the South, or a certain Boston accent. If you've ever heard anybody say the phrase, pack the cat and have a yard, then you'll know what I mean there. But for the most part, American English speakers have been really pronouncing the R sound in pretty much any word that has an R in it. That is why you have this stereotype of Americans not being able to properly speak other languages, because that very distinct, strong R sound makes it difficult to pronounce words in other languages.
Ich befürchte, dass keiner von Ihnen ein einziges Wort Deutsch spricht. Es sind Freunde aus Italien.
Buongiorno.
Signori, è un piacere. Gli amici della vedetta ammirata da tutti noi, questa gemma propria della nostra cultura, saranno naturalmente accolti sotto la mia protezione per la durata del loro soggiorno.
Grazie.
Lo pronuncio correttamente?
Sì, corretto.
Gorlomi? Per cortesia, me lo ripeti ancora.
Gorlami.
Non sarà troppo difficile di trovare. Arrivederci.
Arrivederci. Arrivederci.
Arrivederci.
That clip I just showed you there is from Inglourious Basterds, my favorite movie of all time, and you can hear the actor Brad Pitt playing a part, but struggling with pronouncing the R sound the way he means to when he attempts to speak Italian, and it kind of gives away the fact that he is not who he says he is. So that is an important thing to learn, that either way, if you are an American trying to learn another language, you need to learn to soften your R sound and pronounce it in the way that it is typically pronounced in the language you are learning. Or if you are a non-native speaker who wants to speak with an American R sound or go to the US and be understood there, then you need to learn to stress that R sound and make the rhotic R sound to be sure that you are being understood. So that is something that I personally have experience with. I am a teacher of German as well as English. I speak German and I speak Dutch. I now live in the Netherlands, and both of those languages, sometimes I have a good day where I'm feeling good and I'm speaking in that language a lot, and people either can't hear my accent or they can't quite place my accent. They don't know where I come from. But if I'm tired or I'm speaking a lot and there are words that have the R sound, especially in the middle, then you can tell right away, okay, she's an English speaker, and if they know the difference between British and American English, they will likely guess that I am an American English speaker as a result of that. So let's give some example words to show you the stress of the R in American English, that rhotic R sound. So I'm going to start with shorter words, one-syllable words, and then we will go to longer words so you can hear the difference. The first word that I want to pronounce is the word R. So here the E is silent, so even though the R is in the middle, it actually is more pronounced like the R at the end of the word. R, R, R. So when I do post the video with R's at the end, I will explain a little bit more detail about the end R sound. Now, the next word. Let's change that silent E to a T for the word art. 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 We stress that R before we pronounce the T. So we don't say art. We say R, round our lips, and we pronounce that R very clearly. Art. And the T comes after the R. The next word, earth. 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 So when you have vowels in front of the R sound, that will also change how you combine the sounds. You need to be careful when you are trying to pronounce a strong rhotic R that you are not simply swallowing and forgetting the vowels that come before the R, because nobody will understand you. You do still need to understand the phoneme that comes before it, the vowel sounds that come before it. You need to understand those and then say that properly the way it is written in the word that you are saying before you get to the R sound. So here we have the EA sound that makes and then we follow with the R. Earth, earth. The TH sound is another distinct sound. You have the voiced and the voiceless. I do have a video in my vocabulary and pronunciation as well as Study Saturday playlist that covers the TH sound. So if you need help with that, check that out after this. Earth, earth. The last word we will say is era. That's kind of a period of time.
I did not cry my eyes out. Come on, it's like the end of an era. No more J-Man and Channy.
Oh my God, I'm gonna miss you so much. I'm gonna miss you. I mean, it's the end of an era. I know.
And here we have the E in the beginning is not very stressed, the R in the middle is stressed, and then the A is pronounced at the end. Era, era, era. You will notice that there are some dialects, my own included, from the Northeast. When we change this word from era to error with an OR at the end, or we take another word like horror or mirror, that some speakers, even in the States, will then change how they say it. For example, the OR or AR sounds at the end after the R in the middle sometimes gets pronounced like an A. So when I don't think about it, if I want to say the word error, I usually say era. Oh, there was an error in the file. But that is just where I come from, and that is not the common or the proper way to pronounce it. So be sure when you have a double R there, followed by a sound that has the OR or an ER or an AR at the end, depending on the word, that you make sure that you pronounce the end as well as the R in the middle. Don't just leave it kind of hanging after the R in the middle. Error, horror. So that took us to the two-syllable words, so I'm going to start with a few more. Let's start with dirty, dirty. Okay, so you notice that we don't say dirty. You don't pronounce a rounded R that goes ra, but you are sure to pronounce after the vowel I, the R sound, that it is clear in there. It is not dirty, It is dirty. The word dirt, there it's a little bit stronger with the T following and no Y. And then in the word dirty, you still pronounce it all the way, but because there are more letters following it, it doesn't sound as strong and you don't hold it quite as long as in the one-syllable version. So I will say both for you again. Dirt, dirty. The next word is sorry. Here we have a double R sound in the middle, so you have to be sure which word you are saying, exactly how it will be pronounced. Generally, when you have the double R sound, you do pronounce both R's. Sorry, 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 sorry. They do kind of merge together, so it is not so obvious that you are pronouncing both of the R's, but they are still there. It's not sorry, sorry, it is sorry. So when I'm in a conversation with somebody I don't know very well in the Netherlands and I'm speaking Dutch with them, generally they will continue speaking Dutch with me. Unless I don't understand or don't hear something, I say the word sorry as a question in order to ask them to repeat themselves. And they hear immediately that I am an English speaker as soon as I say this word. Sorry, sorry, and then they usually will switch to English as a result. Let's do one more two-syllable word. Forum, forum. So here we have kind of the soft R at the end, the for, and then we really go strong with that rounded rhotic R before we finish off the word. Forum, forum, forum. Okay, and I'm going to just do a three-syllable set of words. I'll do three-syllable words, and we will finish off from there. The first word, library. This is a word that even native speakers have trouble with. I'm not really sure why, but they do struggle with the combination of letters in this word, the orders, and how it works. So I will say it very slowly and spread out for you so you can hear it. Library. Library. The library. Library. And there we have two R's spread out. Library. Library. And I think that some people struggle with that, and perhaps that is why people tend to mispronounce it as library when it's library. The next word is the word America. America. That's really a perfect example for that American R right in the middle there. America. America. The next word is a state in the United States of America, and that is Florida. 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 There are many people who pronounce it slightly different. Florida. Florida. But generally, in my experience as both a native US English speaker as well as a teacher of English, is that most people will say Florida. Florida. Instead of Florida. But here, as long as you pronounce the R clear, either of those two ways will make it clear what word you are saying here. To finish off this video, I think I will say a sentence. I said something kind of similar to it and realized I wanted to use the sentence I said, so I'm going to put here in the subtitles so you can read it first, listen to me say it, and then we can say it together. Okay, so here it is. There are 3 words in American English. There are 3 words in American English. I hope you guys found this video useful and enjoyable. As always, if you have any requests, please leave them in the comment section below, and make sure you're subscribed and you hit the notification so you are notified when the R sound at the end of words becomes available, as well as for the discussion with the linguist coming from the UK, where we will discuss the differences between the American R sound and the British English R sound, as well as the rhotic versus non-rhotic sounds. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you here again soon. Bye!